said a prayer tonight, Mike?
No, she's not. I'll say it tonight. It'll be short and sweet.
Yeah.
Wow, those cons just like made him feel empowered.
It's in my car.
Okay.
I mean, Chuck.
5 o'clock.
Classic.
5 o'clock.
We'll call the meeting to order. You'll stand with us. We'll have the invocation and pledge. Heavenly Father, we thank you tonight for this opportunity to come and serve our citizens. Lord, we just ask that you give us wisdom tonight to conduct the business of the county. And Lord, we ask these things in your holy name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
A little of a clip.
Okay, first order is item on the agenda is approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda.
We have one item we would like to table the presentation to a future meeting date, please.
I'll amend my motion.
And we're tabling tab 14 as well.
Okay, we're removing the under the awards and presentations. Okay.
What happened with 14?
We need to review some of the cost components, and we'll bring it back to you at the next meeting.
We're still going to pave it. Mm-hmm. Well, I'll amend my motion.
Okay.
This 14?
And Brandon's.
Yes. All for the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Citizens to be heard? None at this time. If you desire to speak, make sure you fill out a card for either this time or later on in the meeting, and you can also speak on any item that's heard tonight. Next item is awards and presentations, which was pulled.
Move consent.
Consent agenda. Moved and seconded. Any more discussion? All for the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. General business.
Yes, tab number 11 is a request for the board's approval of an administrative regulation pertaining to architectural design standards within the Crawfordville Town Plan overlay area. Back in September of last year, the board conducted a workshop to go over the proposed design standards which would be applicable within the Crawfordville Town Plan area. And specifically, it has been amended to include or to require that these regulations would be imposed in the core district area of the town plan. Staff gathered several comments that were shared by both the public and the commissioners and incorporated those revisions into this document. We'll be happy to answer any questions, and I have the folks from CRA who helped staff prepare this item and these design standards here as well.
Motion to approve. Second. And remember, this is an administrative regulation that's easily changed. I'm sure there's going to be something come up that we missed, but this is not like an ordinance or a comp plan amendment.
Right, and, you know, we have to try it out and see how it works.
Exactly.
So.
I'm sure there's going to be some bugs. No offense, Greg.
But it's gonna kind of reduce those metal front buildings that's.
Okay. Any more discussion? All for the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Good job, Greg. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg, for your company. All right, that does it for general business.
We have the at the airport item.
The big one.
Here.
Okay.
This is, we're requesting board direction regarding a revised special act to create the Wakulla County Airport Authority. We had some discussions about this at the last meeting, and we ended up tabling it, pending some additional guidance from our representative. As it stands right now, and this could always change, we are recommending that you approve the resolution to oppose House Bill 1345 as it is. That is the House bill that creates the airport authority as a dependent special district to the county. And that's problematic because that still leaves you financially and legally responsible for that district. And then this resolution would also approve and support the amendment that has been created in order to try to address some of the issues that have been raised by various stakeholders and the state
So
representative.
move, but also give staff a little flexibility, David, if, I know y'all gonna meet with Jason, right? And if they can work something out, I think the gist of what we wanted is pretty clear.
Well, and this creates a countywide authority, so some of the issues we would request some flexibility on are, you know, making it less than countywide, which was your original direction in the first place. And so going back to some of the characteristics that we had originally in the special act that you approved back in September.
Yeah, I think we should be back to what we approved in September. That's where it should be.
Yeah.
Well, the amendment that is in here tonight makes it countywide. So it'd be a true Wakulla County Airport Authority, and the airport authority would not just be limited to that immediate area. So that is one of the,
Which that would only be an issue if we had another airport, right?
yeah, which you do not.
We're not gonna have another airport. Not
It
on
also
our road.
removes, originally in the September version, you had some appointed, an initial appointed board. It removes that, and they will just be, instead be elected at the next special or general election if this passes. It expands the authority board. In September, you had a 3-person board. This makes it a 5-person board. And the version that was approved in September did allow the authority for them to impose special assessments on property that may be,
Only in Torpine.
well, that's gone entirely.
Okay, that's my motion. Option 1, with giving staff flexibility to change, you know, if they need to.
I'm going to second it for discussion. I met with Representative Schoaf today, and he basically has 3 points that are kind of deal breakers that he can't get past. One is no eminent domain, and I think we're good with that. No expansion of the authority. We've got to clarify, does that mean no expansion to allow the master plan, you know, footprint to be
Everything I
implemented?
can see says no expansion beyond what's required for minimal compliance with
Right.
FAA, and I think we all agreed with that too.
And no ability to levy taxes.
I don't
So-
have any problem with any of that stuff.
And I do as well. And I talked to David and Heather, and I reached back out to Representative Schoaf. We're going to try to schedule an appointment at the Capitol in his office this week to try to hammer out these things. I think we all disagree with the bill as it is now, and I didn't think to bring it up when we spoke earlier today. But a question, I don't know that, I don't really want us to be on the record saying we're against the bill. We're against the bill in its current form. There's no doubt about that. Is there any reason why we need to vote against it now, or can we just not take action on it now and let's try to work out those details, and that way we haven't.
Well, it is specifically limited to its current form as a dependent district. So the actual form of that House Bill 1345 that was initially filed, that's what you're opposing tonight.
The main thing is the dependent district, because that still makes us the responsible
Sure.
party.
And I'm guessing we probably all agree that we don't support that. And I
was almost
don't
thinking
support
we
it as
would
well.
table this, to be honest with you. If y'all are going to talk to Schoaf and then come back, you want to just do
Unless-
that?
and I think that'd be
I'll change my
better.
motion just to table it.
That way, we're not on the record that we're against the bill. We're just against the existing version of the bill. And if it stays the same, we're going to probably be against it all the way through.
I'll change my motion then to table it till y'all get something, bring it back, either we can vote up or down.
Second that.
Okay. Motion and a second to table it. All for the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. No public hearings. Planning and zoning items, none. Commissioner agenda items, none. County attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're requesting board approval of a settlement agreement and release with Brent D. Kurger and PhD Investments. This is a item where there was an initial code fine. It was not approved, or it was not appealed, so it became final. The total lien amount is less than $10,000. You guys denied a code lien forgiveness because they did not meet the requirements of the code.
Don Homestead.
He is sued. The issue here is not that we don't think that the county would prevail in this lawsuit, but do we really want to spend money on attorney's fees to fight a lawsuit where the total recovery is less than
Motion to
$9,000?
approve the settlement.
Second.
I hate it, but,
Yeah, it's real annoying.
yeah, it is. Well, the guy was representing himself, and I said, good for him, I guess. Legal system works for some people.
Okay, motion and a second. Any more discussion? All for the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay,
Mr. Buddy.
citizens to be heard?
Oh, we got
County Administrator.
Administrator, we got Buddy.
I'm sorry.
This time, Buddy Wells, this your show, buddy.
It's like the price is right.
Notice how quickly the meetings has moved along so far, Buddy.
Well, you all got my letter, did you?
Yes.
All right. So I'm here tonight. If you have any questions on that, then I'm here to answer those questions.
I'm not up for election, so I don't have any questions. Quincy, you got any questions?
No, I don't have any questions, Randy. I think the law is the law.
Y'all know I got questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think,
Come on.
the decision is that, I mean, it's coming forward that if, depending on what happens in March, if the citizens turn it down in March, we'll stay nonpartisan in county commission races and partisan on all the,
If it's voted,
constitutionals. If
voted,
it's turned down by the citizens in March,
then I guess that's up to
we'll stay nonpartisan.
you guys and your lawyers to take it to court, if you know, or somebody, because I'm not.
And, we've requested the decision from the county, the state attorney,
Attorney General,
attorney general.
an opinion.
If somebody qualifies, say Ralph qualifies as a Republican, and
No.
that doesn't pass,
Well, go ahead.
and say it doesn't pass, is his qualification now null and void?
Yes.
Now, what Mike and I was talking about earlier, he said he's gonna wait till after the presidential preference, then you'll know for sure.
Then
You know for sure.
be honest with you, at this point, that's what I would say, that or I don't know anywhere where it's forbidden when you gathering petitions, you want to give the person hey, this is nonpartisan, this is a partisan one, and explain to them what's happening.
When is the presidential preference, buddy?
March the 17th,
And when is qualifying in?
June the 14th.
So they got 3 months to get petitions after that election. I
Right.
think anybody can do that.
Right.
Or-
That's
Chuck can just pay out of his
209
pocket.
petitions that's required. And,
I don't think that's the problem. I don't think that's the issue. And I want to clarify, make sure I understood your letter that you sent this weekend. So as of today, we are sticking to the charter.
yes,
We're running forward with nonpartisan elections as of today.
but
Only for.
county commissioners are not, we have no choice with constitutionals. The Supreme Court ruled on that.
Okay, so if
And-
someone's going to come in and run for tax collector,
They can run partisan.
okay, they can run partisan?
They will run partisan. It is a partisan race.
Partisan seat,
Sheriff, tax collector, circuit, clerk of court, supervisor, and
Property appraiser.
property appraiser.
so can someone come in running for county commission now, register partisan today? If they're coming in your
If
office?
they do, and it fails,
But
If they
but
do and it
did,
passes,
if
they're
they,
good.
I'm going to recommend that you file nonpartisan.
okay, but if they bring you an application that says they're running as partisan, Republican or Democrat, you will accept it, and they'll move forward with petitions that match that?
I'll accept the paperwork given to me because I can't look outside of the four corners of that piece of paper, but I'm going to instruct them that in order to be in the thing, you would have to do it as a nonpartisan. Now, collecting signatures, you could wait till after March the 17th.
Okay,
In the fact, then if it goes where it's partisan, then all you got to do is come in, fill out another piece of paper with your party selection, and go forward.
or if you accept that paper, not saying that it's right or wrong, but that it is partisan, and they move forward, and the people vote yes, they can continue moving forward with that application and give you petitions and qualify based on partisan.
Right.
Okay,
If it passes, then the charter becomes null and void.
but if it doesn't pass, they need to terminate that campaign, they need to file a TR, and they need to file a new campaign form as not...
You wouldn't have to file a TR.
No?
You just redo your filing paperwork,
Okay,
you know?
Start over with your petition.
Because on your reports,
okay,
they're under nonpartisan.
okay.
All right, so let's play it out now that it doesn't get approved. Where are we at then, Heather? I mean, what's the next step? If the voters keep it the way it is now and they say no to the...
Well, we discussed the declaratory judgment option, and then we are also still waiting. We submitted the Attorney General opinion the same week that you guys requested, and that is pending as well. So kind of just have to play it by ear.
I think the referendum is the cleanest way to handle it.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
And until that's done, because, you know, we have to operate by statutes, and then our charter comes into play. When something is approved by the people and the charter was changed, and it was in 14, and until somebody challenges the fact of the county commissioners being nonpartisan, and the court rules that you can be part, you know what I'm saying? We got the charter, to me,
The charter covers everything until
it is changed.
I agree, but I guess where it gets confusing is you're not applying that same standard to the constitutionals, only to the commissioners.
Exactly, because the constitutionals have no other way to go.
Right.
The courts have ruled.
Well, the courts ruled on Orange County.
The courts ruled that the only nonpartisan races were those that are allowed under the state election code, which is school board and judges. So I think we have a little difference of opinion on what the courts ruled.
And it's all a difference in opinion. She has an opinion,
Weren't specifically
so does
named in Orange
myself
County.
and my legal. But because the charter, and I've asked for an opinion for the state, but they wouldn't give me an opinion because it does not apply to per se an election related. This is a charter thing, so they would not give me thing. Their word to me, and they wouldn't do it in writing, was that you have to follow the charter until the charter is corrected.
Well, let me ask you a question. If you ask the question of the Elections Commission, does the ruling that came down against Orange County, is that limited to the constitutionals that were specifically included, or does that include county commissioners? That has zero to do with the charter. That has nothing at all to do with the charter.
Well, you take Orange County, for instance. Their county commissioners are nonpartisan.
I know, but if you frame the question that way, and they can't give you the answer, we don't give answers on charter. If you ask them, does that ruling apply to county commissioners, they can't give you an answer, say we don't answer on charters.
Yeah, they don't.
Because that's got nothing to do with the charter.
Yep. Well,
That'd be my recommendation, is ask that question.
Well, I will do that.
Okay.
Orange County commissioners are still nonpartisan, and only their constitutionals are partisan.
But let's not confuse the issue, because the only reason that is because they had a pre-existing separate charter provision dealing only with county commissioners.
And I know
it's not applicable here.
Yeah.
It's not applicable.
And Ms. Heather points out that the preemption was in 2010. Well, you know, I find it kind of strange that if the preemption was in 2010, how did we get it on the ballot to be nonpartisan?
I didn't represent the Charter Review Commission, so that would be a question for that committee.
Well, I'm just, I'm puzzled because I'm caught in between a rock and a hard place.
Right.
My goal in the office that I serve in is to be there for the candidates and the citizens of this county. And I don't think you'll find a candidate out there that won't say, I'll do everything in my power to help them. But when I am put in the position I'm in, I'm going to follow what the law's telling me to follow.
So are the existing folks that have filed to run for county commissioner, are they fully aware of this as well?
They have been, yes.
And they understand that if they filed Republican, and it doesn't pass, they're going to have to redo everything?
Yep. I mean, I've told every candidate that's come in. Ralph, you was there prior to, and we talked about it, and I told that particular candidate that, if you can wait to do your petitions, that would be good, but if you gather them now, it would be nonpartisan. There again, I thought about this many times, and I've checked into it. There's no law that says you can't have two petitions and have them fill out one for nonpartisan, one for a partisan race. And the fact that it comes on March the 17th and this stuff is passed to where you'd be partisan, then they've got their petitions already. But, you know,
Now, the presidential preference is just for the Democratic Party too, right?
no.
No.
We have Republicans. You have 4 candidates on your primary
Well,
for
I mean,
Republican Party.
realistically,
There'll be a ballot.
Everybody's
There'll be a
getting
ballot.
There's a ballot.
Everybody's getting a
I
ballot.
know there's
actually
a
have-
ballot, but the Republican turnout's not going to be very high, is my point. I don't know if
I don't
that
think we-
matters at all.
I don't
this-
think we can predict that,
Oh.
and that this, you guys approved this 9 months ago
I
to go on
understand.
this
I'm
ballot.
just making a point.
So
It
this
probably doesn't
issue
mean
is going to be
anything.
on everyone's ballot. This issue.
It
This
votes in the
issue-
presidential preference.
It's on every ballot that will go out in the election. Your Democrats will have their candidates with the referendum. The Republicans would have their candidates and the referendum. And those that don't have a party, they will vote on the referendum by itself.
One question on the ballot. They
Right.
won't have any candidates on there. They'll just have that one question.
I think
Exactly.
it's going to be very poor voter
Well,
turnout.
we know primaries are never good turnouts, you know. I'm excited when I can get 40% to turn out.
We just need to make sure the people that, when they see that question, understand why that's on there.
Well, we got to educate the people, and I'm trying to do that myself. And hey, look, you know, if you want to be partisan, you need to vote.
Maybe we need to take out an ad when they run the sample ballot or something saying.
Well,
this
I
is
have
why-
those in next week's paper. My sample ballots will go out, and
And the question is, if you want the races to be partisan, then the answer to that question needs to
be
be
yes.
okay?
Or if
If
you
you-
want to be consistent with the Supreme Court ruling and you don't want us to have to spend additional legal fees taking it to court, it needs to be
Because I
yes.
personally support nonpartisan elections, but if we can't do
Well,
it legally, then we can't
Well,
do
we,
it.
you know,
But it's in
board
the charter.
supported
We
it
have to go
very
to court.
well, and the
There's no
people
reason
supported
we
it.
have to
but-
take it to court. Any candidate that took it to court would actually hurt themselves in the long run, so it's,
You're saying if it gets voted down?
we got voted down.
No.
I just want it to go away.
Well, I'm not ready. That's all I got to say.
Okay.
That's it?
That's it.
All right,
Thank you,
guys.
sir.
Thank you.
Hey, Mr. Buddy, I will say that I have no doubt about your integrity and your desire to do the right thing. So that's certainly never, ever a question in my mind. And I know you are stuck in the middle of this, and it's confusing for all of us. So I appreciate the clarification.
It is confusing even to me.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any citizens be heard? I see one young man out here in a Boy Scout uniform. You want to come up here and tell us your name? I assume you're here to earn a badge.
Does he have to talk? Is it a badge and personal embarrassment? No. I'm saying you're making
Give
him
him a
talk.
minute.
Give him 3
Yeah,
minutes.
pull that
maybe.
microphone down here and tell us who you are.
I'm Mason Doe from Shoot 5.
Okay? And why are you here?
To get a requirement for Boy Scouts,
What badge would you earn?
citizenship in the community.
Okay, well, good. Well, we're glad you're here and learning about the community. It's a good thing. You might be up here one day, young man.
Learn about an airport and voting.
Yeah. What you don't want to grow up to be.
Any questions for us?
No, sir.
Okay, have a seat.
Do
Thank
you have
you
any
very much.
recommendations for us? Any things we need to improve and make the county better?
He's not getting a badge and personal humiliation. is he?
I didn't put you on the spot. I just wanted to recognize
Do you want a picture?
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Yes.
That way you
Come on.
prove you were up here.
Come on, Randy, show me. Chucks, let's roll. You can do it.
Got my new shoes on.
Yeah, right here, right here.
Randy, don't
You're
want
doing
to-
this on purpose, Randy. You're doing this on purpose.
Stand like this.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go, buddy.
Make sure.
There you go. Good job. Good job. Good job.
Personal
I'm
humiliation
so proud
badge.
of you, Randy.
Jessica, did you get my shoes?
Okay, discussion issues by commissioners. We'll start with Commissioner Hess.
None tonight.
None tonight.
None for me.
None for me.
They're going to start next phase of 319 imminently.
Imminently.
So Mike made a promise
I
about
see.
10 or 15 years ago that it never happened in his lifetime. I remember him saying that.
All the way through
You didn't say that.
All, yeah,
You said it was never gonna get 4-lane.
ready.
Well, he's still got a ways, it's gotta get through Crawfordville. He said it wouldn't come through
Through
Crawfordville.
Crawfordville.
Said
Okay.
319
I got proof.
4-lane would never happen in his life.
Hey.
Okay.
He's not ready to
That's the
check out.
entirety
He's
of
trying to stay
319.
alive, so give him a little left.
Man, they're trying to slip out of a bet or what?
The day it's done is not his
Nanny
expiration
agrees with me,
date.
Mike.
I have one thing to,
She died off in Smith Creek.
is, we have two young folks from our county who are going to be, representing us in the Olympic trials coming up. And that's Stanley Linton, who had the pleasure of teaching in high school. Both these kids went through, WMS, WHS, and both went to FSU. They're not kids anymore, but they're young men. Stanley Linton and Corian Tyrell Nye. I think that's how you pronounce his last name, but I just wanted to congratulate them. And again,
Best of luck.
we put out some good folks down here in Wakulla County, and I'm proud of them, so.
I do have one thing. I forgot, I got an email today. I'd like to read it. Dear Commissioner Thomas, I'd like to give a hats off to the Planning and Zoning Department of Wakulla County. My husband and I are having a pole barn erected, and so I was sent to the Building and Permit Department to gather the information we needed. I must say that I came out of my first trip a little confused, but with all the assistance that I garnered from Kristen Parrish and Susan Parks, the process was so easy. If I had more questions, Kirsten took time to find the answers and called me back to inform me. I cannot thank these ladies enough. I have dealt with other counties in the past, and these two ladies made it so simple. Not only did they talk me through the entire process, I was told it may be a week before the permit was available. Needless to say, I was shocked when Kirsten called and said I was ready 2 business days later. I went into the office on the 3rd day, picked it up, and was told that if I needed anything else, just call or drop by. I want to say thank you to the HR department for hiring such great people, customer service, outstanding knowledge, above and beyond assistance, out of this world. If it is possible to reward them with something, please do. Thank you, Ms. Linda Schroeder.
I'll give her a firm handshake tomorrow.
Well, I'll say that's probably the most improved department that we've
Clyde's
got.
changed that thing.
Well,
Really.
building and planning and zoning, they're tough organizations, but their customer service is
Yes.
really good.
Absolutely.
Good job.
Any more discussion?
Let's adjourn.
We're adjourned. Thank y'all.
Oh,
Good meeting.
great meeting, Randy.
I'm single now. Did you have any other